Okay. And then we continue more down the route. And of course, it is Splendid's turn. That ends up happening. And this time, a Rattata pops up. And she's like, oh, wow, a Rattata. Like, you know what I mean? It's different this time. So she tells it to do tackle. Splendid, of course. And Splendid does tackle quick. So Rattata is, of course, not having it. You know what I mean? She does tackle again, of course. Splendid, she's still jolly and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it gets interesting. Of course, this Rattata does tail whip back at her. So it's like, well, does tail whip at her. So she does tail whip back at it. Of course, that's what I meant to say. Back at her, because, you know. But she does tail whip, of course. You know what I mean? Catches Splendid's attention. She's like, oh, she did tail whip, though. Let's do tail whip back at it. You know what I mean? She's more of a, like, you know, just like Dawn is. She's like a contest battler, you know? So this, you know what I mean? Now it's like, you know, it should make sense. It should. It should. And now, I don't know if anybody really came up with the concept of the female names, but I did. I did. And their Pokemon. And my Pokemon, especially. The whole Pokemon set that I've... Like, this was actually, like, set that I actually chose. Like, sounds wild, sounds like a bragging, but I hope that it's enjoyable. That's the reason. I'm going to keep saying this because I have to fight for it every single step of the way. It's going to be that long that people are going to be like, you know what I mean? Let's give up on this shit. But we continue on the route, and of course, another Pokemon starts forward to me. And it's a male Rattata. Of course, I'm like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Grandchildren are like, yeah, let's catch it. You know what I mean? Like, Stefan, you're the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Catch it. I'm like, alright. Now I say, blast. Don't take him down. Try to not take him down. Use Ember. He does Ember. Does well. Of course, he didn't. He listened to me. And, of course, I'm like, okay. Make sure that he, you know what I mean? Do Growl. Use Growl, you know what I mean? Let's make sure he doesn't break out. Use Growl. He does Growl, of course. Scares the Rattata a bit, but still brave enough to do a tackle. So I'm like, alright, I'm ready this time. Let's give this Rattata a try. I throw this Pokeball. So it's interesting in the concept, also because in the movie, in the concept, you actually get to see Pidgey and Rattata get caught. So, of course, I walk over, do the Pokemon scan. And of course, Rattata's data was added to the Pokédex. Now, it'd be kind of cool if, you know what I mean? Ideally, it'd be kind of interesting if the trainer did it. You know what I mean? You catch the Pokemon, and then just the battle ends, and then the Pokeball's on the ground. And you just walk up, and then it just does the Pokemon sequence. Like, it writes on, you know what I mean? It could be the written text on the bottom of the screen, like, you know what I mean? Rattata's data, you know what I mean? Was added, blah, 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 and then boom. Of course, it says, its fangs are long and very sharp. They grow continuously, so it gnaws down on hard things to whittle them down. So they're like, of course, it tells me in the Pokédex, you want to give a nickname to the captured Rattata? And I say, yeah. And I put, you know, do the professor thing, you know, what am I going to name him? And of course, I end up naming him Mace. Alright. Now that battle ends up happening for me next. So you know what I mean, after everybody else, so I'm just not even going to spoil that. Okay? Now, this is going to be how the route goes, so, you know what I mean, if they make it through, they make it through. If they get into another battle, they get into another battle. But we're like getting through the halfway process of going up. It's like up the mountainside in the forest in the same sense. I'll explain what this area is and all that stuff also in a bit, okay? So of course, Spot gets into another battle. Now, as you see, this Pidgey's on a lower level, kind of, so. But it doesn't matter. It matters on the will and how the Pidgey takes the attack. The levels aren't mattering to me. How they take the damage, how they attack and do damage is mainly what's conceptable to me, because that's what we're visualizing and that's what we're interpreting and knowing during the series, okay? So she does a scratch off rip on this Pidgey. Of course, Flames is exhausted. And, of course, with Blaze, well, Blast being there. She looks at Blast exhausted, you know, while she's stepping front. And, of course, Blaze triggers. So, she ends up scratching. Of course, it's not a fire elemental move, but it's enough to enrage her and pump her up enough to hit this Pidgey so hard. Okay? So, the level doesn't count. Okay, it's still the same Pokemon. The attack just was too strong for it, okay? That's what I want the developers to know in concept, practically, okay? Forget the level thing right now. I mean, the level thing's important and all that stuff. But of course she does it. She does the scratch and everything. She grows to level 7. You know what I mean? Gets a confidence boost. And she learns Ember. Now this part is important, but I'm gonna get to that. I'm just gonna let her sit right here. Okay. Alright, so Spleefa doesn't have no trouble while we're continuing along the route. Nothing attacks her. Okay. So far, me and Spot battled. Yeah. Okay. So I end up getting into my next battle, and it's a Rattata female. Now the thing that interestingly happens is, I got into this battle immediately. That ended up happening is, I caught the male Rattata that you saw, of course, and when that happened, I caught him and stuff. But the secret thing was, his partner, which is the female Rattata right here, she was watching. And she ends up popping out, and she ends up getting upset, of course, and she enforces that I battle her. And I'm like everybody's like, why is she like upset and angry, and she's like attack, like, you know what I mean, biting, you know what I mean, trying to come at you. You know what I mean? Of course she's trying to, but she's really showing like her mouth, like she's upset. So I mean, she's really like, she's trying to talk in Pokemon language, but you know what I mean, she's like upset. So everybody's like, why, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. And then one of them says, you should catch her. But of course, Blast ends up hitting the critical hit. Takes her down. And grows the level. No, it's devastating because she ends up fainting and she runs. And she runs away. Now, the interesting concept thing that ends up happening is the Pokédex ends up going off, and it states, and it says, Rattata's special ability is Runaway and Guts. Okay, Guts is one of the second things that they have also, but you'll see next one. Hopefully, yeah. But Guts has been, okay, and of course I find out Mang's nature, he's mild and all that shit. Okay. Which I should have found that out before. Sorry. I'm doing stuff in the house. It's so hard right now. I'm trying to get this all out. While, like, I'm trying to be quiet now. It's in nighttime. And I'm trying to be there for everyone that's here right now. But it's like I'm kind of ignoring them. So it feels weird. Okay? But we're gonna go to the concept of battling. Not battling. Um, I'm gonna go to the concept of going forward. Okay. Now I know it hurts and it's painful that ended up happening in the beginning of the scene. You know, people were probably like, "Oh man, you should have caught her." You mean blah blah blah. It happens. Okay. So I'm gonna save it. And we're gonna continue on the next episode. Okay.